Good evening, book lovers. Welcome to another episode of Cath-Lit Live. I am your host, Amy Cattapan. You can find me everywhere on social media under my pen name, AJ Cattapan. That is for I really should say my pen name for my children's books back there. My teacher books are under Amy J. Cattapan. If you are new to Catholic Live, I bring you interviews with Catholic authors who have new books out there for you to get to know about. And if you haven't checked out the Hello app, please check out the Hello app with my friends at hello.app/CathLitLive. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can find the link to that in the show notes. If you're not watching this on YouTube, well, why not? Because that's where this is usually ending up first before anywhere else, either on Facebook or YouTube. Those are the fastest places to find my latest episodes. And later on, they will trickle on out to other sources. But I am so grateful for all of you who have been joining me here. And I'm so grateful to my guest, who's kind of a new friend of mine. Once I get him on the screen, I'll share with you kind of like how I got to know this guy who's not only a writer, he's also a publisher. So tonight we're going to be talking with Mike LaMorte. He started his company Catholic Treehouse in 2018 as a one-man operation making rosaries in his spare time. With the loving support of his family, it has since grown into his full-time apostolate with a mission to inspire and equip others to be saints. Michael writes and speaks on saints and other related topics, has been a recurring guest on local Catholic radio, publishes books and assists ministries, and yes, he still makes rosaries. So please help me welcome to the show to talk about his book, The Saint Challenge, Mike LaMorte. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Amy. How you doing?
I'm good. Welcome to Catholic Live.
Oh, love to be here. It's a real blessing, and I'm very thankful.
So I was reading your bio before we came on, and I was saying that I got to know you recently because of our shared love of this lady,
Oh,
Xavier Cabrini, who's
Mother
in my
Cabrini is awesome.
oh my gosh, yes, she's in my Saint Squad for Teachers book. I read a number of biographies about her, and then of course we were talking about the movie that came out earlier this year. And then I wanted to dive deeper. So I was like, well, what else can I do? I'd read several biographies. I've been to the Chicago Shrine. And then I found out that some of her writing is actually published. And you published this just earlier this year, right? Right around the time that the Cabrini movie came out. And these are her
Yes.
letters. So do you want to tell us just really quick about the letters book that you published? And then we'll get into the Saint Challenge one.
Yeah, I'd love to. The Cabrini letters, I ran across them initially about maybe 4 years ago. And when I first saw them, I read them and I was just blown away by them. They were just so beautiful, and you could tell that they were really the work of a saint.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I need to republish these because I found out that they were out of copyright. So I decided I need to republish these. These need to be read by more people. And so I kind of put it on my to-do list, and it sat there until last summer. And I decided, I just feel like this is a good timing to do it. I had no idea that they were making the movie until I was well into the project of republishing everything. And my spiritual director told me in December, yeah, you didn't know they're coming out with a movie. And so Divine Providence is what it is. So that came out last January, shortly before the movie was released.
Yeah, that's great. So we would encourage people because that movie, it gives you an idea of Cabrini, but it really doesn't tell you the whole story. There's definitely composite characters. There's some things that they changed for cinematic reasons. If you really want to know her, go read her words, right?
Agreed.
Yeah. All
They're
right.
really
Well,
beautiful letters.
yeah, they really are. Um, let's talk about this other book that maybe people want to dive into either with All Saints Day or even with the new year starting up, because
Hmm.
it's kind of a year-long challenge, right? The Saint Challenge.
Yes. The Saint
Tell us
Challenge
about.
is a 1 year devotional, uh, and every day people will learn about a new saint. And it's more than just a saint of the day book. It's a brief biography of the saint, followed by a short challenge inspired by the life of the saint. Now, some of the challenges are easy and some are hard and some are just downright difficult. And no one's going to be able to finish all the challenges in the book over the course of a year. But being a saint is a process. And the Saint Challenge is designed to be a companion for everyone's individual journey in that process towards sainthood.
So is that what you're really hoping people will take away from this? Is that they're just inching a little bit closer to sainthood themselves?
Yes, exactly. I mean, we're all saints in progress. And so me, I'm a history buff and I like to tell stories. And so I was a lecturer for my Knights of Columbus Council, and I like to use saints in the lectures because saints face
Mhm.
a lot of the same adversities that we do. I mean, there's the rich and the poor, and the healthy and the sick, and some are from good homes, and some from bad homes and broken homes, and they had good parents and bad parents, and some of them led really sinful lives, but all of them are saints. And so I use saints in the lectures because they kind of show us the way to be a good Catholic Christian, right? And the more saint stories I read, the more fascinated with them I became. And so, like I said, rather than just another Lives of the Saints book, I wanted to write something that was more active and less passive. So I wanted people to have a better understanding on the people who made the history of the church and have a better understanding of the church herself, including where many of our prayers and hymns and traditions and dogmas come from. And just in general, have a renewed energy for their Catholic faith and be a part of writing the next chapter of church history by finding their calling to be saints in this life.
So, since you call it the Saint Challenge, can you tell us what kind of challenges you're talking about? Are we all supposed to give everything up and go serve the poor? Like, what are what kind of challenges are you giving us?
Well, there's some that are pretty basic corporal and spiritual works of mercy,
Mhm.
such as feed the hungry, clothe the naked, pray for the living and the dead. I mean, some of them would be as simple as, hey, make a donation to your St. Vincent de Paul food pantry. That's relatively easy, right? Some other ones get a little more personal, such as go to Eucharistic adoration or pray the rosary for a particular cause, like ending abortion. Some is to write letters to people. Others are other challenges, excuse me, challenges are to reach out and call someone and tell you them that you love them, right? Some are educational, such as reading or reflecting on certain Bible passages or reading certain books or letters written by saints. Some involve getting together with friends and organizing things like shoe drives. And some are just plain out fun. There's challenges in there to eat barbecue or grilled meat or start a garden. So I wanted to kind of keep it loose and keep it fun, and but at the same time tie all the challenges into the saint that we're talking about that day.
Okay, I have to ask the grilled meat. That's not who is it? Saint Sebastian who said I'm done on this side, flip me over.
Saint Lawrence.
Saint
Yes,
Lawrence, that's the one it is. I was like, I'm
but that
saying
is
the
the
wrong
quote.
saint.
But that is his quote. Yes.
Okay.
But so there's something in there for everyone, and again, I wanted to make it something approachable. So
Mhm.
again, some of the challenges are really going to be challenges, but some of them are going to be pretty fun.
All right, go give us an example of a saint and the challenge that goes with that saint for the day.
Okay, so there's plenty of household names like St. Anthony or St. Patrick, or St. Catherine of Siena that like everybody's heard of. So I kind of tried to gravitate when I could towards ones that people haven't heard of. So I'm
Mhm.
going to pull one out here, and I'm just going to read the bio and the challenge as well, so people get an idea of what it's like. So we're talking about St. Nunzio Sulprizio, and his feast day is May 5th. So Nunzio Soprizio was born in Italy in 1817 during a great famine. When he was 3, his father died, followed by his little sister. His mother remarried, then a year later she died. And Nunzio went to live with his grandmother, who taught him the faith, took him to mass, and enrolled him in a school run by a priest. When he was old enough to become an apprentice, Nunzio's uncle took him in and put him to work as a blacksmith. Nunzio was overworked, abused, neglected, starved, and often beaten. A severe infection on his leg caused him to be hospitalized and eventually have his leg amputated. Through his struggles, Nunzio maintained his piety, faith, gentleness, and patience. He died from his lingering infection at the age of only 19. Now, Nunzio Suprizio experienced a life of hardships from the very beginning, but he turned to the Eucharist, the Rosary, and Christ crucified, to whom he offered his suffering. Often, when adversity causes people to lose hope, the faithless turn to vice instead of God. Who do you know that is struggling through difficult times? Today, reach out to them and give them hope by sharing your faith. And so that is an example of one of the saints of the day and the challenge to go with it.
So
So
this
again,
isn't something that's going to take really long to read. Like somebody could do this really quickly with their cup of coffee in the morning.
exactly, or brushing their teeth or whatever the case may be.
Awesome. Well, where can people find out more about you, your book, your publishing company, Catholic Treehouse, if they want to learn more?
Well, they can go to catholictreehouse.com or just go to thesaintchallenge.com will both take you to the right place. And that's where they can buy copies of the book. It's also available on Amazon And if you happen to be in the Central Ohio area, I'm on AM 820, which is the local Catholic radio station, on Tuesday mornings from 8:30 to 9.
Awesome. And there's a podcast that's going to be going along with your Saint Challenge, right?
Yes, the Saint Challenge started off as a podcast. You can find that on Apple Podcasts and all the other podcast locations. And we have a new one coming out on November 1st called Saint in Progress. It's going to be a weekly podcast.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and being a guest and for helping me do more research on Mother Cabrini.
All right. Well, Mother Cabrini, pray for us.
Amen. All right. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you coming on.
All right. Thanks, Amy.
All right. We'll wave goodbye to Mike. All right. So, yeah, he was really nice when I was trying to find out some more information about her. And so I'm glad that we connected and I can bring a new author to you. So maybe check out his letters from the voyages of St. Francis Cabrini. I mean, you could tell, look at how I've marked this up with the different letters of hers that I want to go back to. I might stick around. I might be working on a little Cabrini project. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Sign up for my Insiders Club newsletter on my website, ajcattapan.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, or even if you're not, head on over to YouTube. Make sure that you like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm going to wish you all some happy reading.